All right. Phone work. Well, we'll start with that. So, hands on the head, feet together. Good. And from here, big circles, rolling the hips all the way around the base. Starting out nice and slow.
Can I do this?
Big and pretty.
Sure.
I'm training next to a person again. This is so weird. And changing directions. Nice full circles.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that how it's looking? Told Zester. Yeah. All right. Wider base. Hands in the hips. Rolling the hips back as the body comes forward. As the body comes up. The belly drawn to the spine and the back straight.
First semester of the time. Oh.
Seriously. Focusing on pelvic tilt. More challenge, bring the hands to the center of the chest. Two more. Last one. Okay, narrowing that stance a wee bit. This one, same thing, belly is drawn to the back, keep that back nice and straight so I sink down. Straight back. And lift. I don't want to be hunching over, okay? And sitting to raise. Letting the elbow drop, open the hips back. Feet parallel. Ten more. Two more. Last one. Okay, widen that base again. Back flat with the ground as I turn. I like past my hand. Back around, turn, look. Ten more in the swoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good, coming back up. Feet to about shoulder width. This is the exact same movement as that first hip roll, only now there's a wider base, and we're gonna add in that body swoop. And again, notice that I roll around, that straight leg isn't locked out, it's just straighter than the other leg as I roll through. So again, hips come forward, to the side and around, little bend in the knee, little bend in the knee, around and up. Okay, let's try and get together. Big circle. Make sure the hips are rolling all the way around.
Oh, that feels really good.
Isn't that neat? Again, focusing on the hip circle, the back movement is secondary. The other little alignment stuff, like a light toe grab, light belly draw, that all comes after the hip circle feels good. Yeah. Maybe. Thank you, Kate. One more. Changing sides. Nice and slow for the first couple. Focus on ascribing that whole range motion. Two more. Last one. All right, shaking that out. Nice stance, a little wider than the shoulders, grabbing with the feet. Body sinks, back is straight. Pulling the foot, trying to drag it off the ground. Use that dynamic tension. Pull and set, good. Sink the waist, sink the hips. Grab, pull, 2, 3, 4, 5. Body stable, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Try to kick yourself in the butt. 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. Good. Shake that out. Same width of stance, stepping to the side as you step, raising the foot. Okay? Step, lift, lift. Last one. Good. Slightly broader stance, turning to the side just a little, drawing the belly to the back. As the arms pull towards that extended leg, I'm going to point the toes up and try to pull my heel out of the mud. My body's going to jackknife right at the quad, by the inguinal groove, and back. Good. Weight stays pretty stable. Belly draw, chest concave, pull, set. Very low kick. 2, 3, 4, 5, reset, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good. Change sides. Find that belly draw, that chest concavity. Feel that pulling of the back leg. Try one nice and slow. Arms draw, foot raises, and back. Good. Find the draw and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reset, 6, 7, 8, 9, lastest, 10. Good. Shake that out. Okay, our low stance work we did last week, we're gonna repeat that again today. Again, if your legs and knees need a break, go ahead and take a break. As you sink down, maintain posture first. If you can't maintain posture, don't sink that low, all right? So starting here, the leg is gonna come around, step behind. As I sink, I'll turn sideways so you can see, I'm maintaining that belly draw. So I'm dropping straight down to the ground. As I raise up, the heel drops, the foot comes around and behind. All right, let's go try together. So again, starting that left leg is gonna arc outside crescent, step behind. From here, sinking, raising from the head, neck. As that heel comes to the ground, outside crescent as high as you can. Step behind, kick the donkey. Thank you. And sink. Back straight, chest concave, raising up and kick. 2. Sink. Raise. 3. 4. 5. Relaxed. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. Good. Shake that out. Okay, let's go over the blocking of that next movement again. Left foot comes forward. Right foot steps up. Raise that front leg in that figure 4. I'm going to pull my knee back. As I draw that knee back, I pull the sole of the foot out and step. Front leg steps across. Back leg steps up. Front leg, figure 4. Pull the knee around behind you. Draw the foot and step. 1, 2, figure 4. Pull and step. 1, 2, figure 4. Pull and step. 2 more at that speed. 1, 2, figure 4 front leg. Pull and step. 1, 2, figure 4. Pull and step. Now we're going to add that elevation draw. All right? So same basic idea. Step up with the front leg. Step behind with the back leg. As we sink down. Turning and pulling that front shoulder back. So that as I raise my elevation, my body twists. I draw and step for 1. 1, 2 with the sink. Pulling that shoulder back. 2. 1, 2 with the sink. Pull that shoulder back. 3. Pull the shoulder back. 4. Pull the shoulder back. 5. Twist, pulling the shoulder back. 6. 1, 2, sink, turn. 7. Turn. 8. Turn. 9. Turn. 10. Shake that out. Before we do our last set, feet together, hands on the knees, big knee circles. Change directions. From here, forward, open, and back. Good. Back open and forward. Okay, shake those out. Lastly, feet at a nice shoulder width distance. As I turn, my feet are going to turn evenly. My body sinks, belly's engaged to the back. Slow descent, twisty, twisty, twisty. Slow raise. Back to neutral for 1. Around the other side. And up. 2. 3. 4. Turning. And back up. 4. 5. Halfway there. Again, take breaks if you need it. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. No acceleration, just even movement. 10. And up. Okay, shake that out for a second. Any questions so far? Okay, so real quick for the committee, would you all rather do a lesson based in Pao Chui or a lesson based in ShuiJiao for today? Any requests?
I don't vote for Pao Chui.
Pao Chui.
All right, we give. And Ian is vocally dancing out ShuiJiao, so we're gonna do a bit of both. So we're already warmed up for ShuiJiao, so we'll start with that. We'll roll into Pao Chui later on, okay? Cool. All right. So ShuiJiao is Chinese grappling, and it's very, very heavily rooted in leg strength and back mobility. All right. So we've already done a bunch of that with our leg strength and back mobility drills. What we're going to do now is break down the framework of just 2 of the more fundamental ShuiJiao movements. Okay. The first is a double leg takedown. And so, Kate Cabar, you're busy.
Yes. Can you manage it, Chris?
Sweet, the kids haven't killed each other. All right, so if Kate and I are in close, and I want to go for both her legs, if I just drop down, not going to work too well, right? But if I can get under her arms and lift, I can use that lift to create space, then shoot in with that front leg, get both the legs, lift, and away she goes. So it's getting really slow. We're here, there's the lift, the shoot,
Whee!
and the raising of the wife, okay? All right? So the arm positioning here is the legs sink as the arms raise, right? Because I'll play with that first. So facing towards the camera, raise and sink. And remember, your arms have come underneath their elbows. You're lifting their arms up as you sink down. And so you're creating this tunnel that you're going to shoot through as you later on get their legs to the takedown. Okay, so we do 5 of these each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch stances. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, it's really important that as we sink down, our structures are weight bearing. And what that means that as I drop down here, there could well be 100 pounds on my arms, right? And so if my back is any version of this or this, all that pressure is going to go on my spine. So I want to make sure that as I sink down, I'm sinking into those hips, okay? Try 5 more each side, changing stance. So again, belly to spine as we sink, the arms raise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Change stance. 1, 2, 4. Awesome. Okay, that's the base. So watch me. If my target's dead ahead this way, I get that position. I have my raise. I see someone kind of testing their stance, testing their grip. As I get that shot, that front leg is going to launch in, catch, raise. Okay? Once again, I'm at that test. I get my opening. I shoot. I raise and throw. Okay, so let's try that together, nice and slow, facing towards me. We have that sink. Front leg shoots in, grab, raise, and toss. Good, good. Again, sink to lift. From here, that front leg shoots. Grab as the feet come together. Lift and toss for 2. Have that position. Catch, 3. Good, and again. Catch, 4. Again. Catch, 5, and 5 more at your own pace, okay? Good. Make sure that as you sink down, your belly is still attached to your spine. You're getting there nice and comfy. As you raise up, you're raising with your legs first. That moves the belly, and then finally the back just continues as you carry them up and over. Make sense? Very nice, very nice. Okay, other side. Same thing, starting off nice and slow. Playing with that coordination. Again, we test their guard. We get our opening. From that opening, we step. Arms are open. As the foot comes in, we wrap behind their knee or both knees if we're lucky. Lift to toss. All right, so again, testing the guard, test to shoot. Feet come together, raise and back. All right, and 3. Taking your time, lift, feet together, raise, 4. Raise, 5. Again with me. Raise, 6. One more together. 7. Couple more on your own. Very nice. Last one. Awesome. Any questions on the double leg?
Yeah,
Please.
got a couple questions about this. So one thing would be when we're doing the test, does it have like that, a little bit of that coil feeling, or is it kind
There's
of?
always that feeling of coil, but again, here we're under pressure. Okay, can I borrow you? Thank you. My awesome assistant is coming. Sweet. Okay. So if I'm here trying to get under her arms, she's not going to want to let me be where I want to be, right? And so I want to go there. She's going to be moving her arms around like a goddamn squirrel, and I'm not going to have a very easy time getting here, right? And so where you would use this is if I manage to get in here, I'm in my clinch. I can get one arm under. I can get another arm kind of braced, and then as I push back, I get that lift, and then there's that shoot. So it's a thing you're going to be working for. It's like none of the combat stuff ever falls in your lap. No setup, no matter how well choreographed, is ever going to work, right? They're going to throw weird shit at you. You move into range. You're going to get hit a few times moving in for a takedown. It's just the nature of the beast, right? But the way this movement works, makes it effective, is that once I close that gap, once I'm playing that space and get that roll, it's built off that blast out or a blast in. So I'm changing both my level as well as my range from her. and not off-putting enough that I can shoot beneath. Right? See how my head is tucked in? It's really hard for me to get even a good elbow to the back of my neck or head because I'm in so deep here with my angle. From there, back of the legs, lift and toss. Does that make some sense?
Yeah, so if you don't get that opening, you can go for the low shoot.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that just like how it feels in my body, at least, like the you know, like after we've come in here, the like lift.
Yeah.
What feels more comfortable to me would be like more to go to the side.
Totally. But
Feels
again,
like kind of vulnerable.
we practice that movement a lot in our warm-ups too, right?
Yeah.
There's that sink to draw up. All those basics are designed to give the fundamental ShuiJiao vocabulary, so these more foreign movements kind of get a base in your body, a base in your movement, and you can add on the pressure from there. And so, yeah, right now, twist would probably feel a lot better for you. As you play with how you raise your legs and build that power and throw that power up, things like the suplex become really logical extensions of that base. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Cool.
Any other questions? Okay, so the next movement is called ShuiJiao. If I could borrow Kate for a second. So for ShuiJiao, let's see, side angles, we're going really slow first. As I come under her scapula, my body melts. I come to the side here, palm away from her body, drawing her in. I turn, rolling her around this hand to the ground. And so again, we've gotten into that close middle range. I managed to get one hand or another underneath her back, closing the shoulder in. From here, I melt my other shoulder down and under, finding that angle to the side. Sorry, I'm sticky. As I straighten that leg, turn my heel and turn my hips, I'm rolling through right down to the ground. Thank you. That's awesome. This is a classic ShuiJiao movement based off of 3 old ShuiJiao movements that were turned into one about 180 years ago. This is a 5,000-year-old continuously practiced martial art. It's one of the oldest martial arts in the world. And pretty much all of Northern Kung Fu has a basis in this because this was just here first. Make sense? And so for ShuiJiao, we worked on this together. One hand's on top, one hand's on the bottom. As I pull this hand into chamber, I turn and twist. So facing forward. Okay, everyone seeing that? So let's try this together nice and slow, okay? Hands are crossed in the middle. I'm going to pull that top hand across body into that classic chamber. As I draw there, I'm going to pivot to the side, rolling the other hand till the palm is away from my body. Ideally making a straight line from my head and neck all the way to my heel as I do so. Coming back to the center. I've now changed the hands. Now the left hand is on top. That hand's going to pull into chamber. As I pivot, turn, and look away for a second. Coming back to the center. Right hand on top. Draw. Turn, look. Back to the center. Left hand on top. Draw. Turn, look. Back to the center. Right hand on top. Turn, draw, look. Back to the center. Left hand on top. One more together. Right hand on top. Turn, draw, look. Let me see how all of you are doing. Good, Karen. Making sure you're drawing that hand across and right to that side. Very good. And their weight, Karen, so that draw hand, the hand is pulling in the chamber, that's pulling their body across, right? The other hand, that's what you're pivoting them around. And so you want a reach to the fingertips, even extension to roll, because you want this to be a non-consistent surface. If you give them an arm like this, they can brace against it. If you're rolling the arm as you turn, it's really hard for them to find you, and they're more likely to fall off that balance trick. Hey, Jane. All right, a couple more times. Good, Eric. Make sure you're looking away as you pull. Very nice pop, Eric. Jumping back to Mabu. Good, hop, twist. Eric, Fali. Take a break, Eric. Good, Ian. So Ian, as you come to here, pop, back to center, pop. Five more. Shake it out. Any questions? ShuiJiao's fun.
I just had an observation. That's a very fundamental, like, hip turning one that my
Okay, back to me. Hands palm to the ground. As I twist my body, my hands are going to pivot. Front hand, thumb up. Back hand, thumb down. Twist. Back to neutral. Twist to neutral. Hey, Jane. Nice and slow, side to side. Stretching the arms like there is a wild elephant, pulling your arms in each direction, and twist. Good. Five more. 1, 2, 3. Good. From here, taking, sorry, I took down the baby. Yeah. So that right foot forward, left foot back. You want about a shoulder width distance between the 2 feet. Here we go. The front foot is turned in at a 45-degree angle. The back foot is pulling almost to straight in, okay? From here, we're gonna start the weight with the legs straight, balance 50-50. And then as we twist the belly towards the camera, towards the computer, that back leg is gonna take about 70% of the weight, front leg about 30. So again, I'm here, I sink. You see how the weight's dropping a little more back, front leg is a little bit lighter. Again, 50-50 weighted, sinking. Okay, let's give that a try together, facing towards the camera. Front foot 45, back foot almost 20 straight in. A little more of the hip width between the 2 legs. Sink and sit. From here, the arms raise, making a fist, and twisting. Front hand straight ahead, back arm opening and pulling the chest open, weight balanced as we draw. And hold. Good, Ian. Concaving your chest a little more, Ian, making space for that shoulder to round right across the front. Good. Good, Karen. As you twist, arms, see how my arms are straight in line with my torso, straight line across? As I turn, I want to maintain that feeling as I twist. So if my body's here, my arm's like this, what I want to do instead is just not turn quite so much. So here is a great place to be. I'd much rather be here than there, right? And then from this point, I can gradually increase the stretch in my low back and hips, slowly drawing that arm across as I twist the fist into position and hold. Very nice. About 30 more seconds of this. Back to neutral arms, changing feet. Again, front foot at a 45, back foot almost toeing in, arms raised, and twisting the other direction, trying to keep that line straight between the 2 fists as the hands roll, twist and pull. and hold. Very good. Focusing on that stretch through the hips and low back. Excellent. Nice strong fists, pulling the body just a little bit more open. The arms need a break. You can shake them out, but as you come back in, bring them back to that side, and then twisting back into place. Thirty more seconds. And relax. Shake that out for a moment. That is called ShuiJiao, or the number 10 stance, because in Chinese, 10 looks like this, and the whole body's kind of crossed like a great big number 10. It is the classic stance for stance training in Pao Chui. It's what gives you the mobility in the back and hips to get that dynamic power to come from the feet and express out through the hands ultimately. Any questions on the basic idea of ShuiJiao?
Well, the name finally makes sense now that I know the character.
Right?
Yeah, that was interesting and challenging.
It is a pain. ShuiJiao is rough. When I was first taken as a Pao Chui student, I had to hold that, I think, for between 5 and 10 minutes each side, with the teacher making constant, like, minute, painful corrections. It wasn't, but if you play with that, when it ultimately turns into a marching drill and then a really neat Fali power drill, it kind of progresses naturally from there. So we'll touch on this from time to time and kind of bring it into our training pantheon for these morning classes. Sound good? Awesome.
I definitely haven't done that one in like months, and I'm feeling it in the outside of the delt, which is kind of nice.
Yep. It's one of the best stances for opening things up, and because it's so good, it is also terrible. All right, let's get the arms loose. So just like last week, there's gonna be that roll to tap, roll to flick. Let's play with that. Tap, back, roll, front. So again, rolling, turning, touch back, rolling, round body, reach, round body, reach. Notice how my hip is pulling the arm, my hip is pushing the arm. Couple more on this side. Last one. Good. Changing sides. Again, nice and slow for the first couple. Tap, roll, flick. Roll, tap, roll, flick. Gotta make sure that roll is well described as we move through. Tap, roll, palm up. Couple more on this side. All right, you've all got this one down pretty well. So now we're gonna bring in the other arm, touching the shoulder. As I roll, see I'm rolling that sphere. Sphere lifts and drops. Roll to drop, roll to drop. There you go. Roll, flick, roll, flick. Soften those hips. Good, a couple more. Good, Carol. Making sure that the tip, the flick, and the tap are aligned together. Just roll, plop, roll, drop. Okay, nice and light. Very nice, very nice. Couple more. And shake that out. Okay, next up for arms. Turn, draw. One hand. Turn, hip pulls, arm pulls. Hip leads, hip pulls. And notice how it's really easy to put this on the external figure eight we play with all the time. Other arm. Grab, pull. And now from here, adding in the other hand. The hip comes forward, the hand reaches with, the hip rounds and pulls, the hand draws with. Good. Keep playing with that for a moment. Good, Karen. Watch me for a second. Scoop, pull, scoop, pull across. Good. Scoop up, drag across. Scoop up, drag across. There you go. Turn, dragging down as the other hand lifts. Both hands turn at the same time. Change positions. Both palms turn at the same time. There you go. Change positions. Palms turn, change. Palms turn. Very nice. And see how it's a bit of a coordination nightmare in the beginning, but there's that kind of rolling cadence, side to side to side. And what begins as just a very linear turn, pull, turn, pull. When the hips come in, becomes a turn to circular drag. You see that transformation? And so the basic coordination is absolutely there, but then as I roll the belly, I get that larger arc, and I almost like wiping off. There you go, clearing around the face, clearing around the face. Pull, pull, pull. There you go. Yeah, just like that. That's great. Keep playing with that, Karen. Who is trained with Wang Chi is doing a fantastic job with this. Have this beaten into you at the source. Very nice, everyone. Shake it out for a second. Any questions on this one?
Well, it seems to me that this one has a yin hand and yang hand like some of the other ones, where like the clawing feels more yang and like it's easier to focus on that and it's an easier motion. But like it seemed like focusing on the like the scooping motion of the more yin hand, and like thinking about that and letting the clawing take care of itself for a minute. I don't know, that was useful for me.
Good, good. And it's absolutely, that's a great point, Karen. That's exactly how this works. In the beginning, it's a coordination exercise, right? Just can you do some version of that? Afterwards, it becomes a line exercise, just coordinating the hands with the feet, pulling across the line. Then from there, we get into almost that free-form sparring with it, where as a person comes in, the arm just moving through constantly, whatever you make contact with becomes the foundation of your next movement. And so it's this really awesome, mobile, very tactile shield, right? And again, we're not tiger claw. We're not raking at people's faces. That's not the goal. The goal is that these are just little feelers. Whenever they touch, that turns into our grip. That becomes the next thing.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, Pao-Chui, again, Pao-Chui and Bagua are really rad because until quite recently, they were both, actively used bodyguard arts, right? And so these two styles have people who are one generation away from those who actually use this stuff, in combat constantly for survival. And the teacher Wang Shi, who taught me, for a number of years in Beijing, was the champion of Beijing in 2 weight categories, in full contact and wrestling. And so all this stuff has been really heavily tried out, and the stuff that he passes on has that solid core of just, I have used this to hit somebody with it. And it's good to have that. It's good to have that foundation. And so next up in arms, so is everyone cool with claws before I move on? We'll go back to this in the weeks to come, so I'll make sure that, we touch on a few arm techniques today. All right?
How far from the face should this one be, do you recommend?
Is this a good angle for you to see?
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I was way too close. Okay.
Because again, you want a little bit more than 90 degrees. Less than 90, it's really easy to hit yourself in the face. A little more than 90, you can create that shield, and then if they come in, you can have that, strong bracing impact there. And again, Pao-Chui uses that too. When we dive in, we use that form as that shield, we roll the guard up, and then the body's right there in it, right? And so you always make sure you have that space to maintain that dynamic draw on the chest, because all of our power comes from that moving of the hips up to the shoulders. We want to make sure we're carrying that weapon with us as we move into strike. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. Any other questions before we go on to P, slicing? Okay, so P means to slice or chop. And there's a really wonderful Pao-Chui slicing drill that I quite like, where the arm rolls, other arm follows, and then raises. And we're gonna start this very, very slow, facing towards camera. So my front arm is gonna come across body, little fine finger side turns away, and slices in. Turn to slice. And we're just gonna play with this for a few moments. And again, I want this relaxed and heavy. This is our Pao-Chui kind of shielding arm, rolling to contact. If you want to eliminate hips for a second, that's fine too. If you just roll the shoulder, you can feel kind of how empty this movement is when it's isolated up here, right? As I get the quad behind it, I can use that externally rotating figure 8, and now the arms kind of comes up naturally from my base, extending out and through. Hips lead the arm. Good, let's try that other side. Slice, hand turns, little fingers prepped to slice out. Hand turns, slice, turn to slice. And that turn helps keep space in the shoulder. So I'm never collapsing any of those joints as I roll through. If I don't turn, my arm scrapes my body each time. I lose momentum each time I hit myself. I want that, you can see here, a little bit of room. Here, when I'm hitting myself, no room, sloppier movement. Good, everyone play with that for just a moment more. Very nice, nice big circles. Good, good, okay, so watching me again. Ooh, there's light, that's awesome. As I roll for 1, my second hand almost pinwheels to follow as I step with that back leg, slicing down, facing towards all of you. There's 1, 2. So see how the arm is collapsing in, but it's at the same angle as that front leg. I'm not hitting myself in the leg. I have plenty of space to work with. And so again, it's step 1, pull that arm up, slice 2. Trying again. 1 hand and foot turn out, 2, close that space. Good. 1, 2, for 3. 1, 2, for 4. 1, 2, 5. 2, 6. 7, 8, 9, lastest. 10. Good. Katie, you busy?
Nope.
Can I borrow you?
Yep.
Okay, my awesome assistant once again is going to throw a right-handed punch at me. And she bops me in the stoop and I lose. So from that, from that right-handed punch, I roll back. The first hand's a check. As that hand drops, the second hand comes over. That's the strike to the back of the head. And we're going to add in a second is a third hand that's going to come underneath as I throw her back behind my leg. The mama sound is coming off. So as the punch comes in, it's check, slice, throw. And again, going slow, there's kind of this one, and then from here is that, as this arm drops, this hand, see the same hand's pulling down, dropping that arm. That weight of drop carries the other hand over, boom, as it hits to the top. From that hit, right underneath, lift and throw. Thank you. Does that make some sense? Awesome. So again, that first hand is just catching that strike, moving it off of its primary target. Second hand is cutting through. Okay? Let's give that a try on the other side. Hey! Okay, so roll, 1, 2. Good, and back. Roll, 1, 2, and back. 1, 2 for 3. 1, 2 for 4. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 7, and 3 more on your owns. 8, good. 9, very nice, everyone. Last one. Good, good. So can you all kind of feel that cascade of movement as the arm rolls to pull in? Does that make some sense? Awesome. So the last piece of this three movement set, we have, so I'm going to see better. We have 1, 2, right? And for that 2, I've drawn in. Now as I step out, raise and throw. And so again, I roll in, check, strike, lift. Check, strike, lift. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense, kind of vaguely? Awesome. Let's try it together nice and slow. Just kind of facing towards the camera as I roll back, check, slice, lift. Roll back, check, slice, lift and throw. Roll back, 1, 2, 3. Roll, 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Roll, 1, 2, 3. 2 more together. 1, 2, 3. Good. Rolling back, check, slice, lift. And a couple more on your own. Lower bend in the elbow, Ian, as you raise up for that third strike. Rolling, 1, 2, 3. Come here. Good. Making sure there's a target in your mind's eye as you're playing, right? There you go. First strike, catching their arm as they reach in. Second strike, hitting them behind the head. Third movement, catching under their arm, rolling them off to the side. Again, check, cut, throw. Good. SanHuangPaoChuiQuan literally translates to 3 emperors cannon punch fist. There's not a lot of retreating in this style. It's a whole lot of there's a thing in front, we are now the cannonball. And again, it's not my favorite of martial philosophies, but it's a good one to have in your back pocket. So any questions on this 3-strike combo? Cool. So again, for coordination work, if you're looking for some new stuff to play with, I really love these 3 movements, right? The tiger claw movement is just a great way of coordinating hips with hands. When that gets easy, you can add in circular hips with the circular shoulders. And that becomes a brand new fun way of coordinating body movement. The 3 slices can be done in a line back and forth in a driveway really well. It's a wonderful driveway drill. Right, Karen? Right, Karen. It's the exact same pattern that we use in our Bagua So there's patterns everywhere, and it's great everywhere. It's just a matter of what particular shade of it you want to play with today. For the 3 slicing movement, just get a nice long runway. It's like 1, 2, 3. Just let the shoulders open. If I don't have much space, I can just take a big step back, change sides, take a big step back, change sides. I mean, no matter what space you have, you can still play with these big full movements so long as you accommodate them with your footwork. Make sense? Awesome. Great job, everybody, today. Any questions about class or requests for later?